before we get started, I want to point out that the people sitting on this stage spent a combined total of over 50 years bringing this wonderful book to the big screen. Jeff, from what I understand, you alone have spent 20 years on this project.
That's a little exaggerated, maybe about 18, something like that, yeah.
Hyperbole.
But I originally wanted to direct my father, Lloyd Bridges, in the film, and I wanted to make a movie with him that my kids could see. They were all young kids at the time, and I was looking at a catalog of children's books and came across this wonderful cover of this grizzled old guy with a Newbery Award stamp on there. And I thought, oh, this is great, you know, and I read it and I was knocked out on a kid book level, but also as an adult. And I thought, oh, this is a movie I'd love to see being made. Turns out that Lois took that photograph of the guy on the cover, yeah.
No kidding, on the cover of The Giver, you took, who was the guy?
Is this on? He was a Swedish painter named Carl Gustaf Nelson. At the time, I was a photojournalist. And I'd been hired to do an article about him and to photograph him. And he was dead by the time I wrote the book, but I had saved the photograph.
Amazing. So you were a photojournalist, and now you're a millionaire novel writer. So
novel writer.
Aspirational. So how does it feel to actually have been working on this project long enough to play the Giver?
Yeah, I finally qualified as the grizzled guy on the cover, you know. It was funny. It felt just, you know, wonderful. So much of the success of a film creatively, and I believe, you know, its success in the theaters, people seeing it, depends on the casting, you know, not only the casting of the actors, but who's going to, you know, be the director, who's going to be our cinematographer, and all of those slots were just filled in such a beautiful way that the movie kind of transcended my high expectations, really, for it.
I am curious, Bob, I know you were the first writer on this, also 18 years ago, and I want to ask the writers, Bob and Michael, why do you think this story was so hard to bring to the screen?
Well, I'm older, so I'll go first. I wasn't older when this started, but I am now. Well, you know, the book is very sort of internal. A lot of it is Jonas's experience and what... And there's, you know, I'm meeting a lot of these people for the first time today. Yeah, hi. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. They were all very difficult to work with, I have to say. But it's a very internal sort of story. And, you know, frankly, the book, you know, there's, I'm trying to do this without giving away plot for those who haven't seen it, but there is a point where Jonas decides to leave this community. And once he does, the story, the book, actually just stays with him. We never go back to see how his departure affects the community. We know it's going to affect them, but we don't see it in the book. That was Lois's choice when she wrote it. But for the movie, when I did my drafts way back, I thought, well, we have to see what's going on back in the community. So it was really a creation of a whole new storyline and expanding some of the parts. And the chief elder, who was basically virtually a cameo in the book, her role is expanded, which is great because when you have Meryl Streep, you want to give her a little something to do. So it was taking the book as a basis, but sort of branching out from there and finding ways to make it visual and you know, put some action in it.
And still retain the spirit of it, which is what they were able to do, I think.
Michael?
I think a lot of it was also timing and the people you see in front of you. The fact that Jeff was so enthusiastic about the project for so many years and didn't let it go. And then, you know, Nikki Silver, who has been through a struggle similar to Jonas in order to get this movie made. And of course, Mr. NOYCE, being the right director and finding the right cast. I think a lot of it was timing and luck, and especially the talents of everyone else here.
And I feel like I should call him Mr. NOYCE now. Philip, what attracted you to this? Was it the script or the book that you read first?
It was the book, yeah. And it was the ideas of the book. I mean, I think we all, well, I know I do. I embrace technology, but I also fear it. In some ways, I think that we're losing contact with each other. So the portrait of a future society where technology ruled completely seemed like it was something like looking in the mirror every morning and not actually speaking to my friends, but just sending them one words, texts. You know, so it felt to me like it was a cautionary tale about the future, but about the present as well.